I'm not going to even speculate, but they both ended up on the floor in a place that seemed a bit of an odd place to have contact. So maybe one tipped off and the other one ran into him. I don't know. We will find out. Social media will tell us.
The
Props Pit Pass will tell us what happened in that one.
Yeah.
So that was your overall then. So it was Searle from Charlie Heyman and Joe Brooks, with Askew, Doonson, Jamie Keith, John Adamson, Ben Musto, Josh Vale and Charlie Richmond being your top 10. So that is the MX2 wrapped for now. Back to a Pico MX1, all the riders on the grid. There is the Phoenix Tools Fantic of Carlton Husband.
Very quickly before we wrap up here at Preston, if you are in the basically the south-east next week, or sort of Midlands, and work your way across, or not next week, or for round 3 on the 3rd of May, get yourself there at Ling, Norwich Viking Club again, and a tremendous track. I've been going there for years. It's a brilliant event. So 3rd of May, if you fancy coming out to one of these, we'd love to see you there.
Here we go then. Board is up, waiting for the gate to drop. There we go, they're away. Let's see if Taylor Hamill can win his way into the...
Hurlins with a good
Hurlins is caught. That looks like Ben Watson was in there if he was as orange as he was in the first one. Oh, everybody threw the dust.
That might have been Eddie Wade, actually, running...
Well, whoever that is in the lead...
It's Hurlins.
That's Hurlins. His start device has not come off.
He had to wheelie his way through that. I think he did that on purpose.
So is he...
It's still locked on.
Oh, what a disaster.
Way.
Oh, it's just gone.
It's finally gone.
Broke. 3/4 of a lap with the start device stuck on. It's Adam Sterry, the Chambers KTM rider, that takes the lead.
Well, he must have that thing set so low. But still, you would have thought it had come off.
Yeah, I don't think it was a case of it's set low. It's just not disengaged.
Yeah.
But when you see it takes 3 of them to put it on, you have to say, what level of braking? I mean, we sometimes get them not click off on the supermoto box, and we're running 320mm distance slicks.
That's going to make him
Sterry
angry.
then, you're going to... He won't take the whole shot, but he briefly led Jeffrey Hurlins as the bullet in a completely different kit. And people say, oh, you know, your camera crew, blah, blah, blah. This is what makes motocross so much harder than anything else, because every time they come out, they all put something different on, just because it's that easy.
Well, we're pretty much a fashion industry these days.
Well, we are.
Every clothing manufacturer brings out, I don't know how many lines these days. I mean,
I had to race in odd gloves the other day, Jeff, because...
did that annoy you, Phil?
Yes, it did, pretty much. So Jeffrey Hurlins then on the... Honda HRC Petronas bike, then off to a great start. He absolutely fluffed his start in the first one. That's come back from 13th, as you guys saw, and obviously we didn't. So hopefully he isn't going to run and hide at the front. Let's see where Conrad Muse is. So that's Sterry in second. I'm not sure whether that isn't Aurel Oliver in third.
Currently, or showing in the first time sector. So let's see if he's made moves since then. There he is in third. Is that Carpenter, like you say? No. Yeah. Is it? Yeah. No, that's
Jason Meara. Jason Meara across the line in second. Was he up there? I don't know. We'll find out.
I think he was. But Conrad already up to third.
But you'd have to say, if the start device is not coming off after those 2 big landings...
I know.
Does that just say how gentle Jeffrey is on putting the bike back on the ground? I really don't know. So Hurlins from Sterry, from Muse, then it's Ben Watson, Aurel Oliver. Meara did indeed get a great start. He's there in 6th. Then it's the DRT Kawasaki of Taylor Hamill in 7th. Charlie Putnam on the SC Sport Homes Husqvarna, he is there in 8th. Eddie Wade on the Triumph in 9th. And Tom Grimshaw on the Apico Honda, he is there in 10th.
Yeah, as they go round, the one part of the circuit we can't actually see, but I don't think we've had anybody have an incident round there that we haven't been able to. It's Conrad, he's going for it. He's already, look at this, what has he got? He has closed that gap on Hurlins.
And you, obviously, you I can't remember whether you were in the whole of the time that Jeffrey was talking, but he was saying that, look, he says, I know that Conrad is so fast around this circuit. He's going to want to take the points for being, obviously, he wants to max out the points that he's going to take over the rest of the field.
When you asked him that, he did not hesitate at all.
No.
There was no, he said, no, he is absolutely going to be a thorn in my side today in the second moto and whatever. So he knows that Conrad can turn it on around here and give him a real race. And to be honest, he's worked his way to second pretty quickly. And I wouldn't say he's over-exuberated himself or used too much energy getting there. So let's see. Closed in on in the first race, but then just, Jeffrey controlled it a little bit towards the end. Let's see if Conrad now with a bit, because it took quite a while to get in second, longer to get into second in the first race.
It did. So have we got a change there for third? Not sure what clothes, what Ben Watson got on, but Muse then up to second.
Yeah, Oriel Olivier there as well in fifth. Miro making a good start, as you can see. Charlie Putman making a very good start on the SC Sports Home Tuscaloosa in eighth.
He's turning into a decent rider. Charlie Putnam, he's been here, there and everywhere racing the States and done all sorts of stuff, but he's turning himself into a good solid 450 rider. Hamill up to sixth, then past Mira on that lap. If whatever result Taylor Hamill gets in this one gets him fourth overall, what can you do?
Yeah.
That's more fourth than Ben Watson got in MX2. He was the only guy I know that could go 2-2 in a GP and still end up fourth overall. It wasn't
but
that.
But it's such a stretch, though, because actually, when you think about it, though, the top three, in the championship with Muse and Sterry and Watson coming in. I mean, it's breaking top three at any British Championship event is tough.
Yes. And obviously Ben and Adam Sterry, both of them have been on the GP trail for many, many years now.
Exactly.
But Ben not been able to ride the British Championship for a lot of years due to always being on either a factory team or a team that was based mainly in mainland Europe and not doing the British Championship. The last time he rode a full season was, I think, 2017 when he rode for the Hitachi KTM team, which he won the British MX2 Championship on, which I think is his only big bike British Championship, which is hard to fathom. But factory Yamaha, factory Kawasaki, factory Vita rider for many, many years. And he is back here plying his trade, enjoying getting back to being at the sharp end of races and developing that 450 triumph for the GPs. He had a really good opening round in Spain, not such a great one in Switzerland, and fell foul to what we will know, therefore known as The Rock, which took about half of the field out with the derailing chains, and Ben was no different. He DNF'd, I think, the first race with that. Erlings has a look over his shoulder. So that was Conrad Muse having a look over his shoulder. What's the gap out the front, Jeff?
So the gap, well, we wait to the time in the flip round because we have two split screens here, so bear with me. Okay, fastest lap of the race, no surprise, is Jeffrey Erlings with 156.89. The gap is 6.4.
So it looks like Conrad Muse has not been able to get his claws into the back mudguard of Jeffrey Erlings. We'll see what happens. I mean, obviously Erlings coming from quite a long way back in that first race. And here is our race leader. Like I say, as you heard him say in the booth while in the RFX 125 race, he is out of here to go and do a national race in Holland tomorrow, and his crew are taking that bike back by van. I mean, what a job! I mean, he was just like, oh god, these guys must hate it. But like, what more would you want to do? Being around a guy. I mean, I don't know what he's like to work for, but certainly when we deal with him at any of these races that he comes to, he's always more than accommodating. And happy to deal with the public and get signed autographs and stuff, and have pictures taken. Spend time with us in the booth as well.
Yeah, that was great. As we said, there's not many live streams where obviously you get previous riders coming in as guests once in a while, or if they're injured.
Yeah. But
I can't think of many coverage of where you actually have the riders who are competing on the day coming in and for a chat. So,
and he always does. And again, I think it's more the fact that he's tipping the hat to the fact that so many of the fans have come out to watch him as well. And like I say, there'll be a time when you'll never get to see this guy ride again. And every opportunity that you get to come and stand at the side of events at a motocross meeting and watch this man go by on a bike is money well spent. And the fact that he comes and graces our British Championship says a lot about him, and it also says a lot about the British Championship and the way that it is, the esteem that it's held in. But he is absolutely motoring away. There is Conrad in second.
He has definitely stepped up this race. I think he's realised that Conrad will...
Yes,
the big dangling carrot that he is, that Erlings is, and he's like, I can't even give him that opportunity. He has definitely laid it on thicker this time. He's just trying to break him, isn't he?
Yeah, Ben Watson has managed to find his way past Adam Sterry, as has Oriel Oliver. So Sterry back to fifth, Hamill sixth, Jason Meara still, is it Jason or is it John? I can never remember.
No, Jason.
It's Jason Meara. Yeah, Jason Meara he is there in a good 8th. He's just gone back to 9th and overtaken by Bobby Bruce, but that's still a good ride. And Tom Grinshaw into 10th, 11th place again. Lennox Dickinson, Josh Gilbert is a DNS. So
that knocked the wind out of his sails big time. We don't know what's happened to Josh. We can't speculate on that, but whatever that happened in that first moto crash is enough to make sure to decide that he's going to sit this one out. Not the barn burner that we experienced in the first one, but and again, this is the difference between watching it on the MXGB TV and being here at the trackside. There's always something going on somewhere. It's just that with the amount of cameras that we've got and the way that this all works, you can't pick out everything everywhere. You stood by the side of the track, you're watching everybody go by lap after lap after lap. You can follow so much stuff. This is a great view from the top end of the track, Jeff. I don't know whether you've been up there at all. That is one of the obviously higher ground. That's why there's a lot of fans up there. You can see it. One thing that is going to be becoming a problem right now, although it's not overly bad as we saw at some, is the light. The sun, now the clouds have cleared, sun is starting to go down, so they're starting to get a little bit of low light on some of these face jumps. It depends obviously where they are on the track. This jump in particular, that will be the dark side as they come up to it, because they are riding directly into the sun there, so that will cause a bit of an issue. You can see how obviously how dark is that side of that berm.
Yes, the shadows then starting to play. Obviously the clocks changed last weekend, so
not so bad.
Not so bad, but obviously pre the clocks changing, and you say you got obviously how dark that is there. They've got the shadow coming out of there, and then they'll be going down here, jumping directly into the sun. Not easy when the track is as beaten up as it is now.
No, definitely not. Conrad doing all he can to keep Hurlings honest here, but as we have said, I think Jeffrey's come out in this one realising the threat of Conrad winning the overall and beating him. He probably got a bit angry with his start device holding down as well, fired him up.
So this is the battle for third, and this is Ben Watson on the Dirt Store Triumph, being pursued by Oriol Oliver as they come up the steps from the far end of the circuit. Now this is the additional bit that's added to what is the normal track that gets used here at the docks, and Oriol Oliver is not letting the man from Nottinghamshire off. There's Charlie Putnam riding.
Going off.
So Putnam's obviously had an off somewhere. Brad Todd also a DNS, and the start of Louis Brooks did not start as well.
Well, Louis out there on the Stark Varg, so well, not in this case. He didn't start. I don't know what the reasons why.
He looked pretty good in practice. I watched went out and got to watch some of the time training, and he certainly looked like he looked decent through the waves on that, and so not sure what the problem is there. So this is where I'll say that line, you've got to get out of here right to get over this double coming out, and they're just getting over it and clipped there by Oliver. Ben got over it really cleanly, Ben Watson.
Well, the 450s obviously got more chance of clearing that from the inside. The MX2 riders were, that's why if they were taking the inside, they just couldn't get over it. They had to go wide to double that. But these 450s, which have so much grunt, like we say, we don't do, as those that follow motocross obviously understand this, there's no speedometer, we don't do all that kind of thing. So trust me, they might not be a top speed as a road bike or anything like that, but when you are riding over terrain like this, those 450s, man, they're a handful.
Well, obviously since we did our last meeting, first round of the British Championship at Hawkston, I've raced since then on a borrowed 450 KTM.
Well done, Phil.
And I can tell you for nothing that they have not got any slower for not riding them for a while. Great fun to be had, and loaned a bike for a meeting a couple of weeks ago, and I'm just like, there's a reason why 450, the men who ride these bikes fast.
Not for me anymore, I can tell you that.
And it was definitely one of those things where, even for a wobbler like me, it was something that you kind of go, well, do you know what? I really need to give this the ultimate respect. And these guys are ringing these out to try and get them a little bit faster, a little bit better handling, all sorts of things. Massive jump there. And they've certainly. You've got to appreciate, until you've ridden one of these things, you really don't know how hard they are to ride at this level on this track. And Ben Watson, then that's where he went down in race one, the exit of that turn. But yeah, but props to Mark Hardy, who just literally walked over and said, I can see you having a bit of trouble there. Before you put yourself too much on the struggle bus, I've got a bike you can borrow. Watches the stream, so that was good, and that obviously got me a bit of an in. But cheers to Mark for stepping up a couple of weeks ago and saving my day for me just have a bit of a wobble round on your nice bike. But these boys are riding the wheels off these things week in, week out. And when you see the riders going on about, we're developing things, every time they push the bike a little bit harder, they'll find something else that has a problem.
Absolutely, and of course, certainly from a Triumph standpoint,
they've had a good day.
That bike is still really, in its infancy. I'm sure there's a lot of R&D that Ben is giving back to the factory as well. The first year of effectively of the 450 Triumph in race trim, they started off their whole program with the 250.
Yeah, and that seems to have gone pretty well. The 450's been a little bit stagnant, but the beauty of having Ben on board, the experience that he's got, and knowing what he needs for himself personally out of a bike, and being in a situation, without being too political, to actually get what he wants and needs, rather than being told that, no, you really need this, mate, trust us. He's definitely improved on the Triumph, the Beta that he was on, the factory Beta. Obviously, that's a development bike, it's a factory bike. Lots of stuff going on there that they're always trying to get that bike to the next level. But sometimes coming back to a production-based bike with just your own tweaks and finding a level of comfort can give you what you need. And it looks to me, Jeff, that Ben has got his finger out and has gapped out Aurel Oliver a little bit on that lap.
Yes, he has. I think because he had him breathing down his neck there for several laps, but then just focusing forward nicely through there. I think he'd be a bit disappointed today, Ben Watson. Obviously first back in a long time racing British Championship. It's a long haul. We know this. 8 rounds, a lot of racing, a lot of variations on different tracks. He's come in with it with the red plate. Will he be leaving with it?
This is going to be difficult because obviously he was 4th behind Aurel Oliver in race 1. So for this one, it means that Watson will not be on the podium as it stands. Ben will be on the podium as it stands at the moment. So he will get 3rd on count back. Obviously, Hurlings will take.
It's going to be tight, Phil, because after round 1, Conrad was 9 points off of Watson.
Yes.
Has Conrad gained 9 points on Watson today? That's the first question. I don't think he has.
So he will score 40. Ben will score, he will go 4-3, which will be 38. So he's only going to pull 2 points back on him. So I think Ben will still leave here with the red plate. And bearing in mind the day that he had with a crash in Moto 1, let's not forget. He will kind of feel that, and he only went out of auction with a share of the red plate because obviously he finished level on points with Aurel Oliver, the man on the Gabriel SS24 Factory Juniors KTM, as we watch Conrad Muse bounce his way up there. I think that the points at which he needed to chase Jeffrey Hurlings down went away fairly early in the race, and he will take 40 points and beating his main championship protagonist.
So what's Conrad going to get? Because it stands 2 seconds, yeah?
2 seconds.
So he gets 44.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not going to be... It is going to close up.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. But I think, he had the 9-point gapper. And he's obviously... Yeah, we're on about here, Ben Watson has overturned Aurel. So they're effectively, it stays like it is. They're tie on points.
Yes. They'll tie on points again, so they'll be level at the top of the championship, and yet again Ben will have done him on points in the second moto, but this time it will keep Oliver off the podium.
Yes.
There's the 555 of Mackenzie Marshall on the Staffordshire Drive, that's moved up from MX2.
Always, I think I mentioned it at round 1 at Hawkstone. Mackenzie, always destined to be a 450 rider. He got big quick as a youngster.
Yes.
So not hanging around and moving up to MX1 quite early.
So what's the gap then? Oliver looks like he's dropped off the back of Ben Watson. It'd be nice to
quite a lot.
So that looks like that's the Triumph. Well, that's not Watson. Watson's dropped off quite a bit from Conrad Muse.
Here's an interesting fact. I'm going to bring it up anyway again. So Phoenix Nor's fastest lap of the race was set by Jeffrey Hurlins early on, which you'd expect, while the track, certainly while he was angry.
Yeah.
1:56.821. His last lap around was a 1:59, so obviously dropped off the pace quite a bit at this point. Still circulating faster than Conrad, but he's basically taken about 3.5 seconds off of his early 2-lap pace.
So obviously lessons to be learned then. Factory Honda need to have a look at the start device to see what did it finally release, did it break?
Yeah,
I bet it turned well for the first couple of corners.
It definitely would have done that. I could see his lovely what he did there. Did you see that?
Yeah.
There's a tiny little bump halfway up that, and that is classic Hurlins. Rather than just hit it, little trigger of the clutch, and he just took the edge off the top bit. Brilliant.
And again, this is why, as I said to him when he was in the booth, there's people here who would pay money to watch him ride around on his own, and he is kind of doing that at the moment. He's the class of the field, but let's not forget he is a 5-time world champion, and for the amount of races he was presented with a plaque from one of his long-time trainers, John Vanderberg, I think it was, 4,500 gate drops. And you think how much time he spent injured.
That's incredible.
You think how much time he spent
as well. Yeah. That's the point. And maybe I think it was DT in Daythorpe's book, which is great, by the way. The whole should have things of how many championships you could have won. Now, because people say that to Thorpe and they, 3 could have been more, but that is how brutal this sport is, and it's the fine margins. And 5-time world champion, and when you think about it, the amount of opportunities that went away from him,
it could have been 10.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, here's the battle then. We've gone back to this battle. Our camera crew doing great to pick that up.
Oh, he's back on him. Yeah, that was Oriel. Not quitting, not rolling over at all. We thought Watson had broken him there. Look at that. But look at the lap times last time around. There we go. So now that will absolutely affect things. If Oriel Olivier does make a move on Ben Watson, if he does, and it stays like that to the end, then we loosely can kind of figure that Oriel would be coming out of here with the red plate.
There they are. They're just jumping down into the back loop. We'll wait for them to come back out.
But it's a big if. He's got to find his way past Ben Watson. He's caught him up again.
And obviously this will be for a place on the podium.
And he'll go out with the red plate.
And the red plate.
Yeah.
All right, we can find these guys. There's our race leader, Jeffrey Hurlins. 3 minutes 40 on the clock and 2 laps. He didn't get over the jump that time.
Yeah, so this is it's going to be interesting. We're going to try and get eyes on Watson and Oriel Olivier there for 3rd and 4th. News is still circulating there, but the gap is now out to 12 seconds. But there's nothing much between the two the battle for 3rd and 4th. That's where it's at. Ben Watson 919 against number 83. And then Adam Sterry is quite a ways back from those 48 seconds off the race leader, Jeffrey Hurlins.
Well, our race leader, Jeffrey Hurlins, then comes through the wave section. He's going to put these two guys a lap down. This is the battle between Mira
Carpenter, I think.
No, it's Mira and Ben Edwards.
Ben Edwards, right, okay. Yeah, sorry.
Ball gets squeezed to the side.
Gets a face full of roost, turns his head sideways.
Yeah, and again, props to our camera crew. They are working through such long lenses. It's impossible to see who these numbers are.
Mira brake checked him there.
Did he? Oh, that's going to go down well. There's going to be fisticuffs down the bottom.
Well, not overly, but I think he thought that obviously that was Edwards who he was racing with. And that's what can happen.
Yeah, it can indeed. So it's still Muse, Watson and Oliver. What's the gap across the line last time, Jeff?
Between Watson and 0.9, so under a second. So that is a serious race going on.
But yeah, not able to pick that Watson battle up. Say we've got cameras doing double duty on everything here.
So they just switched those. They're doing that
little hop again.
Yeah.
So so the battle is 30 seconds back at the moment. So this is the battle for, I think, 15th and 16th that we are looking at the moment. So Conrad Muse still not coming into shot yet. He'll be coming in behind these two guys.
Yeah, so Edwards making that move on Mira. There he is, the rider from Scotland. Just a sound bloke, Ben Edwards.
No, here we are. So this is it. We found it. Well done, guys. This is the battle then. So that's Watson there on the 919 and 83 of Oriol Oliver. Top job by the crew there. Because that was, like I say, in the fading light and the dust, Watson is desperate to hang on to this. Oliver gets across.
He's pushing.
Here's Watson. He is pushing him, isn't he?
Yes, he really
is. Like I say, this is for third on the day and the leader of the Motul ACU British Championship going into round 3 at Ling in a month's time. It's a long while to be sitting thinking that you could have kept the red plates. Ben is he's a tough old boot to pass. A lot of experience then. 28 years old, I think, from up there in Nottinghamshire. And a Grand Prix rider for 10 or 12 years now. And he's coming under a lot of pressure from Oliver. Sweeps through the turn. Still 30 seconds on the clock. So Hurlings is going to get the 2-lap board next time by, which means that these guys have got the best part of 3 laps left. And Oliver, after looking like he was dead and buried 5 laps ago, Jeff, he is back in the battle.
Very much so. As we said, if it stays like this, they will tie on points again.
Yes.
For the second race in a row overall. But Ben would go out of here with a red plate on the better second race results. But if Oriol moves it, he will be a clear leader of the championship.
Yes. So for the first time, we will have a clear leader of the championship. And Oriol just lost a little bit of time down the back end there, Jeff. He didn't get past that back marker quite as cleanly as he would have liked. And now the young Spaniard, although not young anymore, he's aged out of MX2, so he's got to be at least 23 years old.
They're all young to us, Phil.
Let's not go there. But yeah, look, I would say that he's been as much a surprise to me on a 450 as Tom Vial has in MXGP. I expected him to be okay and decent, but he really has, because obviously he led his home GP in Spain a couple of weeks ago for a few laps. So you don't kind of... you get a whole shot and lead for a few corners, that's great, but he legitimately led the best that there is. There's Sterry on the floor.
Down on the foreground, yeah.
Oh, big stretch. You can see how hard those guys... It doesn't look a big jump from the front. None of them do they?
Yeah.
But that is a proper stretch.
Yeah, he just got a little bit, his body weight back a bit too far there, got out of the corner, and that was a bit of a classic Evel Knievel Wembley.
Yeah, 2-lap board is out then, Jeff. So time is up. Hurlings is already down the far end of the circuit in the dark.
All good. You can see how the dust, as soon as it comes up, the wind is still blowing sideways, which is actually probably not a bad thing, keeping their vision pretty good. It's not dusty by any stretch, I'd say, at this point of the day. You know, with the amount of racing we've had on here, that's not an issue at all. The track's in good shape. Tough, obviously. Oh, again, see that hook there on the edge? That is so easy just to get that pitch sideways with factory suspension. Definitely helps.
Yeah.
Us mere mortals might have had to manhandle that one a bit more.
Yes, definitely.
But having said that, us mere mortals wouldn't be doubling that.
No. So, trying to still see what's going on on the other screen.
Yeah, well, we can hear our event commentators, Roger Warren, Ben Rumbold. They were raising their voices, something going on out on track, which we're not seeing, so we'll try and find that. Maybe that was Oriol Olivier making a move on Ben Watson for third. It's not showing on the timing screen yet, or split section, so as far as we're aware, it's status quo. So there's Conrad. No, it's not. It's a teammate. He's done. That's Jamie Carpenter looking same kit they're out in.
Carpenter's 8th. He's lapped up to 8th. Hat tip to Tristan Purden, then number 41 on the Lexa Honda. He's having a better run in this one. He was 14th in race 1. He is there he's there in 7th. Carpenter 8th. Grimshaw 9th. Robbie Bruce in 10th. Right, so by my reckoning, that was the last lap board.
It was 1 to go, showing on the timing screen that we've got here. Sorry, it's not showing on your K-Tech podium column, but trust us, it is 1 to go in this Apico MX1 class. It's been a good day for Jeffrey Hurlins, but he's got to do it all again tomorrow at the Dutch National.
Yeah, he's going to be on a plane and on his way out of here at Toot Sweet, and
better not keep him too long then, am I, in the winner's circle?
No, you get down there in the winner's circle, say, thanks for coming, here's your money, go home. No, but a pleasure as always to have him grace our British Championship. Even more pleasurable to have him here in the booth again, and have a nice chat both on and off air. Always happy to chat, and like I say, it must be a difficult life where everybody wants a piece of you, but as long as you are respectful of his boundaries, he's more than happy to spend a bit of time with us.
And you must be used to that though, Phil, aren't you? You know, everybody wanting to chat to you and all that.
I still pinch myself on the way home sometimes, Jeff, at the whole thing that we're doing here. It's still a little bit of one of those things that, well, how did this happen? And but anyway, we are here, and thanks to MXGB TV for bringing you all the action here this weekend. All of our crew out there on the top of some pretty perilous podiums, and they have done a fantastic job. Like I say, it's very, very difficult for us here to, you know, when you're not actually here on site, to understand how big this Preston Docks site is from end to end.
I know one
and we've
thing.
Literally we've got cameras at both ends looking in.
They'll be going home with rosy cheeks up there, I'd say. There'll be windburn. There'll be no doubt about it. Right, let's go, and I think it's safe to say I'll be talking to Jeffrey Hurlins. I'm out of here. Let's go and find out, talk to them in the winner's circle.
So here we come then. It's going to be a race victory and a 1-1 for Jeffrey Hurlins. He takes a race win then, so let's sit on that camera. It'll go off. Hopefully he will stop and have a chat with Jeff. Or let's see if we can get... Can we get... Please. Let's come, and they're coming over the line. Let's see.